Today's news focus. Sarawak Premier expresses sympathy for landslide victims in Miri and flood-affected residents. Sarawak government provides 10,000 ringgit assistance to families of landslide victims in Miri. Relief assets from Sibu and Miri deployed to strengthen flood rescue mission in Bintulu. Good evening. Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Dato' Abang Upeng expressed his sympathy and sorrow for the victims of the landslide tragedy in Miri and those affected by the floods across the state. Following the incident, he stated that the Sarawak government, through the State Disaster Management Committee (SDMC), will continue to monitor the situation and is ready to assist the disaster victims.
Di Miri, di mana telah mengkorbankan beberapa orang, dan saya telah meminta Douglas Ugah untuk memantau keadaan dalam masa 2-3 hari ini, kerana Meteorological Department ada menyatakan mengenai dengan hujan. Dan perkara kedua ialah di Bintulu, nampaknya banjir agak besar. Ia membabitkan kawasan-kawasan kampung, perumahan, termasuk kawasan industri. Jadi ada beberapa syarikat shutdown operation kerana mungkin agak membahaya. Dan sekarang ini pihak pentadbiran Timbalan Setiausaha Kerajaan kita sedang berada di Miri dan Bintulu, dan kita melihat dan memantau keadaan yang terkini. Bagi pihak kerajaan, kita bersimpatilah dengan kehilangan nyawa di Miri, dan kita harap kawasan-kawasan yang lain berjaga-jaga dengan keadaan yang berlaku ketika ini.
He made these remarks when approached by reporters after attending a 2025 Chinese New Year visit at the residence of National Entrepreneurship Institute INSCEN board member Datuk Goh Leng Chua on Wednesday night. The Sarawak government will be providing financial assistance of 10,000 ringgit to the families of those who perished in the landslide tragedy at Kampung Lereng Bukit Miri, which occurred on Wednesday. Sarawak Deputy Premier, who is also the chairman of the State Disaster Management Committee (SDMC), Dato' Amar Douglas Ugah Embas, stated that this aid is part of the government's efforts to help alleviate the burden faced by the victims' families.
Bagi Miri, kita ucap taziah kepada keluarga 5 mangsa akibat dari tanah runtuh di Miri. They have recovered all the body in Miri yesterday. Yang meninggal kita bagi 10,000.
He made these remarks during a press conference held on Thursday while visiting the Temporary Evacuation Centre (PPS) at Chunghwa National Type Chinese School (SJKC), Batukawa here. Meanwhile, the Minister for Women, Early Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dato' Sri Fatimah Abdullah, announced that her ministry would arrange counselling sessions for the families of the victims.
Jadi bagi keluarga yang masih hidup, kita tahu bahawa ianya adalah satu musibah dan jadi satu keadaan yang berat untuk ditanggung mereka. Maka di bawah Jabatan Kebajikan kita ada kaunselor yang boleh memberi iaitu khidmat kaunseling kepada mereka.
In the early morning incident on Wednesday, 12 victims from 2 affected houses were involved in the landslide tragedy in Miri. 5 were confirmed dead, 2 sustained injuries, while the rest were safely rescued. Meanwhile, additional assets from Sibu and Miri have been mobilized to strengthen the rescue teams in their mission to assist flood victims in Bintulu. Sarawak Deputy Premier, who is also the chairman of the State Disaster Management Committee (SDMC), Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Embas, stated that the deployment of these additional assets is crucial to ensure the swift evacuation of flood victims to the Temporary Evacuation Centres (PPS).
Walau bagaimanapun, they were trying their very best. I think they have done their very best, and then they can mobilize support from Miri, from Sibu, from Bintulu untuk melengkapkan kenderaan-kenderaan yang diperlukan supaya rakyat masyarakat dapat dipindahkan dengan cepat. And then you can see that they managed to move them to 8 pusat pemindahan sementara.
He made these remarks to reporters after visiting the PPS at Chunghwa National Type Chinese School, SJKC, Batukawa on Thursday. So far, the flood in Bintulu has affected around 720 households, with a total of 2,823 victims recorded. The SDMC chairman added that he, along with Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Sri Fadila Yusof, would be heading to Bintulu in the afternoon to assess the flood situation in the area. As of now, Bintulu is one of the most severely affected districts, having experienced heavy rainfall that recorded more than 400 millimeters yesterday, submerging almost the entire district. The Sarawak government is set to assess the need for relocating residents living in hillside areas to mitigate the risk of landslides that could result in loss of life in the future. Sarawak Deputy Premier, who is also the chairman of the State Disaster Management Committee, SDMC, Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Embas, said the study is essential given the increasing number of landslide incidents which have significantly affected residents living at the foot of hills.
Ini this will be discussed with the Amat Premier. But what should be done by the council now to study mana tempat perumahan yang nampak threatened by the living bukit. What we're going to do next, that we will discuss, because that will be a long-term solution to the problem.
He was commenting on the recent landslide incident in Miri that claimed 5 lives on Wednesday. Dato' Amar Douglas Uga also advised residents to evacuate immediately if they feel that their living areas are no longer safe during his visit to the Temporary Relief Centre (PPS) at Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Cina (SJKC) Chunghwa, Batukawa here on Thursday. Accompanying him were Sarawak Deputy Premier and Batukawa Assemblyman Dato' Amar Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hian and Minister for Women, Early Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Dato' Sri Fatimah Abdullah. The Kuching Water Board (KWB) is set to construct a high-level water tank in Batu Kitang aimed at resolving ongoing water pressure issues, particularly in Kampung, Bunga, Rampai. The project, with an estimated budget of 5 million ringgit, is expected to address the persistent water shortages and low pressure that have been affecting residents in the area. Batu Kitang Assemblyman Dato' Insinyur Loh Kei Chiang confirmed that the site for the tank has been identified and the process of land acquisition is currently underway.
Kita akan menyelesaikan isu-isu low water pressure bukan di Bunga Rampai saja dan di sekeliling kampung Bunga Rampai juga.
He said when speaking to reporters after hosting a Chinese New Year open house celebration at his residence on Thursday. The open house celebration was graced by the Sarawak Premier, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Dato' Abang Openg. The high-level water tank is projected to be completed by 2026, with detailed planning for the project to take place this year. As a short-term measure, KWB will extend the main pipeline to Kampung Bunga Rampai using a 400mm main pump, a move expected to alleviate the critically low water pressure currently being experienced in the area. Also present during the visit were Deputy Minister for Utility and Telecommunication, Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi, and a member of the Senate, Senator Dato' Ahmad Dato' Sri Ibrahim. And that's the English edition with me, Philip Yeoh. More news can be found in our official portal, ukas.sarawak.gov.my, and social media platforms including Facebook and YouTube. Ending the UKAS Bulletin with coverage of the visit to the Temporary Evacuation Centre (PPS) at Chunghwa National Type Chinese School, SJKC, Batukawa, here on Thursday. #saluran informasi rakyat. Have a good night.